Hello, Hitting the Field family, and welcome back. I'm your host, Dominic Moller. No, this is not a new person. I told you guys on my last show that I'm getting a cut, so freshen up. Let's get it. I'm back, and we're going right into it. You know, NBA for the first segment, Champions League for the second segment, a third segment that I'm not going to tell you what it is, so stick around, because Hitting the Field starts right now.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated chance, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to give me plaques. Step up in the building and I only bring the facts. When I make a highlight, they gon' replay, run it back, okay? Always locked in, now I don't got time to lax. Saying he the best, he could take a lap. Batted 1,000 when you check the stats. Boy, is you ready? You ain't gotta ask.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm joined by main show's #1 guest, Ezrah Hines, and the Prophet, Jack Hanzal. The Prophet is here. He's back on
about to
main
come
show.
out.
No,
Yes.
don't. And right away, we're talking the NBA. And we're talking trade grades. So a little bit of a trade wrap-up, trade deadline wrap-up. But before we get into the real big trades, we got to talk about the Lakers. Guys, now, are they a contender? I'm going to just cut everybody off and say no, they're not from me. But are the Lakers a contender? Ezra?
I'm going to say no. They're a great team. They have a great roster. They still have to, actually, merge as a squad together and play team basketball in order to be a contender, because it's clearly seen that having good players on a team doesn't make you a great team. We saw that with the Brooklyn Nets. But there is one guy that has been phenomenal since he joined the Lakers, and that is D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah?
His
Come
stats,
on now.
His stats are kind of skewed right now because he did get injured against the Warriors, I think it was. And
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, he played like 9 minutes, so it's kind of skewed. But he averages 13.5 points per game, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He's shooting 35% from 3. He has like a PER of 15.9, so 0.9 above league average right now. But, of course, it's kind of skewed. He was averaging like 16.7 before that, so he was actually a really good point guard before then. I think that really helps him a lot, considering like they've been lacking a good point guard for a minute. And, yes, I'm saying that knowing that Russell Westbrook was on that team.
Yeah, Westbrook is not him. We know that. I
don't know about that.
He's not
D'Angelo
him.
Russell.
I'm sorry, he's not.
He's
But
not.
Jack
Russell
is about to blow a gasket.
Russell Westbrook is a good player, but he's just not fit for the Lakers.
Dude, Jack is about to blow a gasket right now because he thinks the Lakers are the real deal for some reason.
And I just really wonder who could have told you D'Angelo Russell was really good this year before he got traded to the Lakers. It's odd. It's odd. I really wonder
it's
who
the
could have told
Prophet.
you.
Hold up.
But listen, the Lakers, now it's a tall task for Anthony Davis to stay healthy. Very tall
task, especially
Yeah.
if they want defense.
If the Lakers can somehow stay healthy, there is only one team on paper better than the Lakers, and that is the Suns. You got
Are we talking
my
West? Or are we
God.
talking
in the West.
Okay,
In the
okay.
West. In the
You
West.
were about
Yes.
to.
What is going on?
No.
West.
On paper, I can say they're better than
And let me
Denver,
tell
but
you,
actual eye test, no.
The Nuggets are trembling right now, begging they do not play the Lakers in the first round.
Actually,
Jokic will get another first-round exit and win another fraudulent
first
MVP.
round exit?
Oh my
If they play the Lakers in the
First
first round,
round?
absolutely.
I agreed with you.
Absolutely.
I agreed with you with the fact that if they get the
Absolutely.
Lakers, that's very scary for them. But first round exit?
If the Lakers get the
kidding me?
eight, the Lakers are going to be an 8 to 10 seed.
No.
Or 8 or
Yeah,
7 to 8.
yeah,
7 to 8
7 to
They're
8.
win
They're
play,
going to be around
7.
there.
If they get that 8 seed, they will beat the Nuggets in the first round.
No.
Yes,
no,
they will.
no,
the
they
Nuggets
won't.
are not that good, guys.
The Nuggets are a
They've
very
won
good
one
team.
playoff game in 2 years.
That's okay.
Okay.
I understand that. But when you play the way they're playing, and Jokic is actually playing MVP basketball once again.
Oh,
wow.
wow.
What do you know? Shocker.
They've played MVP basketball the last 2 seasons,
That's
too.
okay. They have a
They've
better
won
roster.
one
They have
playoff
Aaron
game.
Gordon. They have Bruce Brown. They have Contavious Caldwell-Pope.
Okay.
Brown.
We gotta cut it. We gotta move on because you know
Brown.
what?
He said Bruce Brown.
This was
Good
a
shooter.
good little fire. We're getting right into it, right? Now the next one is Kyrie. This is gonna be a trade grade. Is Kyrie an asset or is he going to hurt the Mavs more? How does Kyrie affect the Mavs really?
I mean, you know what I kind of see it like? I kind of see it like the Kawhi Leonard situation in a way, because You know, when Kawhi Leonard got traded somewhere, he didn't exactly plan on staying. He won a ring there. And that's pretty much what the Mavericks need. So it's cool. You get that second star next to Luka. You can try to test it out, see if he actually needs a second star. And if he does, you can go find somebody else in the offseason if Kyrie doesn't come back. It's kind of like a win-win scenario in a way, so why not?
So you compared the Kyrie trade to the Kawhi Leonard and how he's an asset. Are the Mavericks title contenders?
Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, they are.
No.
Yeah, they are. I'm going to say it.
No.
No way.
They can't guard
Stop it.
anyone.
Stop
They can't
it.
guard anyone.
Stop it.
Listen,
Stop
listen.
it. Stop
And
it.
I love the on-the-court fit with Luka and Kyrie. I
do
think
too.
they're so dynamic. But here's what's
Even
going to
though they're
happen.
1 and
Here's what's going
4.
to happen. They're going to lose in the second round.
Oh,
They're
no,
going to lose in
they're
the second
not.
round.
No, they're
and then
not.
they give Kyrie an extension, and then he goes right back to the nonsense, and he's on and off
I
the
don't know
court.
about that.
Or
Guys,
yes, he,
stop.
you don't think he's going to be
I'm
you don't think he's
speaking my
going to be back to
truth.
nonsense?
I'm about to
Prepared
speak
for
my
that.
truth
They know
here.
they know what they're doing with Kyrie.
I'm
so they know
sure.
how
I'm
to
sure the
handle
Nets
it.
were prepared for it too. I'm sure
Guys.
everyone's prepared for it.
Listen,
They trade him.
Kyrie
They trade him.
and Luka. First off, Luka made it to the Western Conference Championship
Absolutely.
basically by himself.
Absolutely.
That
With the
whole
best
last
defense
year.
in the NBA.
That's also true.
With the best defense in the NBA.
We get that they gave up a lot of their good defensive players for Kyrie. Reggie
don't have
Bullock
any other
and
ones.
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Reggie Bullock
But
was not a good defender.
The difference that they have now is that offensive firepower that I think once they start to fit with each other, I think, you know what? I do think they're
They are
title
already
contenders.
fitting. They're putting up a lot of points. They really
Yeah.
are. They
But
still cannot guard anyone.
But
Yeah,
it's
there's
all
not
about
one
defensive
player.
schemes. That's what it comes down to is defensive schemes. But
With no defensive players.
hey,
Exactly.
talking about title contenders, one of the favorites now, speaking with Kyrie's old teammate, is the Suns and Kevin
Oh
Durant.
yeah, I love this
He
team.
hasn't
Yes.
played yet, but how do you feel on the fit? Do you guys think that KD is a perfect fit for the Suns, or does that make the Suns, the top of the West, or is it going to fizzle out for him?
I think Mikal Bridges said it best on the podcast he did with JJ Redick. He said that fit is amazing. It's literally better than Mikal Bridges being there. So, I mean, when you have a guy that's another point scorer now, other than Devin Booker, because they really, really needed that.
Yeah.
You have a guy that plays great defense as well, night in, night out. You're pretty set. I can't really argue against it. This
Yeah. Well,
team's easily a title contender.
Everyone said it for many years now. Kevin Durant's kind of a good fit on every team because he can go off the ball and score
True.
the
It's
ball.
true.
He does so
But like
much.
That is
this
true.
year, and of course he's played every game with the Nets so far. But this season with his 26 PR, that's eighth in the league, highest PR since 2016.
Yep.
And his true shooting. Now, true shooting is more of a center stat because it's layups and they are
course,
so
yes.
efficient.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Of
course.
he's 67%, 17th in the league. That's really high for a guy that shoots the type of shots he shoots
Yes,
and the volume of
absolutely.
shots
Yeah.
he shoots.
The amount of
so he's
shots,
been so
too.
efficient. What it comes down to for me is we know at some point in the playoffs, Chris Paul will do something, either get hurt or just play terrible
forgot about Chris Paul,
to
yeah.
just self-destruct the Suns and self-sabotage the Suns, which is why the West is so wide open. And Kevin Durant, he's supposed to come back Wednesday. We don't know how the soft tissue is going to be.
I'm excited
Yep.
though. I'm
We don't
excited.
know. Oh,
Yeah,
it should be.
I'm excited too.
It should be a great run with
Now,
them.
with Kevin Durant's old team, if we're talking about favorites in the West, the team that won the NBA Finals last year didn't really make any moves at all during this whole trade deadline or anything. The Golden State Warriors, what are they doing?
I have
What
no
is
idea.
their big thing? The only thing they really did was James Wiseman. They shipped out.
They freed
But-
him finally.
Yeah. So, I mean, what are the Warriors cooking up? Or should we let them cook or, stop them? Why did we let them cook? What are we thinking here?
I think we should give them a little bit of time. I think they may or may not be load managing for the playoffs, honestly.
That's true.
So it's because
Hey.
Curry's dealing with injuries. Clay's full season back finally. Draymond still kind of aging out, and also he's in his last
But-
year. They don't know what they're going to do with him yet. I think they're just kind of sitting back. They probably will figure it out. Do I think they're going to make the finals? Probably not. No, I don't think so. But I think they are not as bad as they look right now.
How much time of mediocre basketball do we give the Warriors? They haven't been good all year.
No,
they've been
that's facts.
awful on the road all year long, and they lost the last 3 or 4. This team, I get Steph Curry's hurt, Wiggins missed
Steph
a
is
couple
hurt.
games, Draymond's missed 2 games in a row now, but
Clay's looking really good too.
Clay has looked really
He's
good. He's
since-
not the defender he was, but he's been making threes.
Since the All-Star break, he's
But-
averaging 32.
Yeah, but this team has not been good all year long, and why should I expect them to? I understand they have championship pedigree, but they're not teams do not flip a switch like people want them to in the playoffs. It will not happen. They're going to go play in, and the Lakers will beat them.
That's
Hey,
debatable.
Hey,
with the
because
Warriors.
last year the Warriors were kind of in the same spot. They were
They were
not-
a
weren't
3
this
seed
long.
last year.
They weren't
a
But they
3
were
seed last
still,
year.
they were not NBA Finals
Actually, if I
favorites. They
remember
were not Finals favorites at all. They were not, no one thought of them at all because the year before that, they were one of the worst teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
And then the next year,
Yeah,
they had a
and last time the Warriors were in the
rise.
play-in, they lost 2 games in a row. So
That's fair.
It's fair.
I get that.
Now, you know what? I'm shouting on my Bulls. Yep, that's right. Pat Bev to the Chicago Bulls, and he is turning the Chicago Bulls up. Pat Bev changes cultures. He makes the Bulls a nitty-gritty team that they play hard, and they're winning ball games right now. And ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what, the East better watch out because the Chicago Bulls are on the rise.
Now they're going to make the 10th seed instead of the 11th.
yeah, I know. He
Congrats.
makes them good enough to lose in that play-in. It's going to be great. Bulls on top.
You know what's going to happen? I want this to burn into all your guys' memories and your skulls. When the Bulls win the play-in and make the playoffs, it's going to be the NBA Finals-esque celebration from Patrick Beverly.
I actually
Damn right.
have a fun game for you, just because you're, Bulls. Can you? I know he's a locker room guy, but guess what? Guess what Patrick Beverly's stats are in his 2 games?
He's not a stats guy.
Just
I
guess what
said
they
it.
are.
I said it at the
Let me read
beginning.
'em
He's
to you.
not a stats guy.
4
He's more of a-
points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists on 25% shooting.
Oh my
The
God.
guy- listen.
He is
he's a locker
cooking,
room guy.
ladies and gentlemen.
He's really not that. I mean, listen.
He's like, hey, he
he's
changes
not gonna.
cultures.
He's not gonna make the Bulls a playoff team. They'll get into play-in maybe.
No.
Maybe they get lucky, but they're not gonna be a playoff team.
Well, this is a fun segment, and this has been amazing. A lot of hot takes, a lot of crazy thoughts, but we gotta go back, and we gotta bring in Champions League now. So please stick around, because Hitting the Field will be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Hitting the Field Network. I'm your main show host, Dominic Moller, and this is just a little PSA to come check out our network. We have shows for all your favorite interests, sporting needs, or really anything if you're interested in the world of sports. Of course, our first show is The Combine with Cameron Forcier and Isaiah Deonda Delgado. It's more of a laid-back podcast type beat. But next is the main show. The best show ever created, the best show ever engineered, pioneered, with me, this pretty face on your screen, this handsome fellow. Going to be talking about mainly the main things of the wide world of sports. And then on Thursdays, we have Nighttime with the lovely Emily Aaron and the handsome and dashing Camden Mallory. Then right after, for all you gambling addicts out there, I hope you viewers aren't gambling addicts as much as some of the other people in Hitting the Field. We have Hitting the Field bets with Riley Shepard, Jeffrey Laux, and Weluka Costa. And then we switch it up. We don't always do shows. We like to do a little bit of interviews too. We do interviews with a lot of sports athletes, such as Corey Marksman, that I did. Shout out Dominic Moller right here, this guy. And then, of course, Kristen Scott with Camden Mallory. And we have more coming in the works. We're always innovating and thinking on our feet. But if you want to join us, be sure to DM Hitting the Field on all social media platforms and networks as well, because we're open to anybody to come through and just check out the program. But be sure to tune in, as Hitting the Field will be seeing you very shortly. Take care. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I'm joined by Ezrah again. I mean, I'm telling you, he's the main show's #1 guest.
You already know
and
it.
the lovely, dashing Kellie Campbell. We're talking a little bit of Champions League. You know, it's a little bit of soccer vibe going on. I like soccer. I'm going to talk about it. So first off, it's the Champions League time, guys. Liverpool versus Real Madrid. I think that's the biggest, most notable game to kind of talk about.
That was one of the best games to watch.
Yeah, I mean, Liverpool, we're going to get into them more. We're going to really dive into them a little bit later on in the segment. But they absolutely just dumpster fired their whole team. And Real Madrid, who probably one of the best teams in the world, just absolutely took off. And Vinicius Jr. shows why he is a superstar athlete and one of the best in the world. Kelly, over to you first. You know, what did Vinicius Jr. do this game that was just so extraordinary?
Well, I mean, to be honest, he's really been popping off for a while now. I mean, he had 2 goals, an assist, he won man of the match, and he had a 9.2 rating out of 10 on FOTMob, which is really high, really good.
It's crazy.
He put up great numbers. So, I mean, just in overall this season, 22 games, 7 goals, 4 assists, and as his job as a winger to feed Karim Benzema, I mean, he's been doing great this season. So
yeah.
he's been so much fun to watch. And I mean, what do you guys think?
I
Yeah.
kind of want to touch on Karim Benzema.
Yeah, I was
He
about to say he's turning back the clock a little bit
He
here.
also had a really good game this past game. He had 2 goals and an assist. He had 5 shot creating actions, 91% pass completion.
Yeah.
And I think he had like 31 of 35 passes.
yeah.
So it's not like he was just like kind of not out of the game. No, he was very involved in the game. That's a very high pass completion. Also 3 progressive passes. Of course, he's their center forward. You expect that. But no, he had a phenomenal game. He started turning up in the later half of the game. So I also wanted to shine some light on him.
Yeah, I think Benzema is one of the most lethal finishers that he doesn't get as much. He before wasn't getting as much credit when you had Ronaldo on that team that was really kind of their star in their forefront.
He was
of their
more
team.
of a shot creator. For
Yeah,
Ronaldo.
you had Ronaldo, Bale, that were the main guys.
Yeah.
Now you got Benzema, who is kind of taking over, and he's showing that he is a great player.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could kind of guess that Liverpool's going to lose that. They've been playing terrible lately.
But I mean, we were talking about this earlier. I mean, playing at Anfield, I know Liverpool's been bad lately. I mean, that's no doubt. But do you still feel like it's weird that they got beat so bad in the stadium? Like,
Yeah.
being shut out from 21 minutes on, 5-0. I mean,
I think it was surprising that it went down to be 2-0. You know,
Yeah.
2-0
To
right
start.
away against Real Madrid. You'd think they could hold that lead, but Real's been in the biggest stadiums ever, so they've been on the highest stage. They're just a club that's built on prestige, so they play great. I mean,
Yeah, Anfield is a tough place to win at, but like it is Real Madrid at the end of the day. So I feel like when it's Real Madrid, you just let them do their thing.
yeah. And touching on Real Madrid's rivals, going to the Europa League, Barca gets upset by Man United.
Upset's a strong word.
I think it's an upset because Man United they've been playing like pretty good lately, but at
Yeah,
the
they've
beginning of the
looked decent.
season, I think everybody was asking for Ten Hag to just get out of there already.
Whoa,
I'm saying
I don't
it.
know about that.
I
don't
don't
know
think-
about
I don't
that.
think
they love
Ten
Ten Hag over there.
Now they do. Now they
They've
do. At the
loved it.
beginning, they were.
You gotta give them some time to gel, though.
I agree, but you know how people are. They want their manager sacked right away, or if they're not performing right away.
I get that.
They're
I get
calling
that.
for. I mean, look at Chelsea. They're already calling for
Yeah,
Potter to be out of
that's
there.
a crazy situation.
But Man United, coming out of nowhere, they win that Barca game, which Barca's been playing great before. Now lately they've been kind of downhill,
Yeah.
but Man United stick it out. And what were the big keys to success for Man United? I mean, how did they pull this off? Because that first half they were down 1-0 penalty. Second half they turned up. They turned up everywhere.
It was really their defense in the second half that was the game changer. So,
Absolutely.
and I think that falls a lot on Lisandro Martinez.
Yes.
So he's a great defender, and to have 4 progressive passes as a defender is kind of a crazy statistic. So to see him play so well, and I mean, he had 4 tackles, 2 blocks. Other than that, he played really well. So
No,
I mean,
he
I
was
want to
very
hear
good.
what you guys thought
I
about
mean,
him.
I think Lisandro Martinez doesn't get the credit. He's kind of an undersized
He's a
center
short
back.
king.
Yeah, but he absolutely bullied. I'm gonna say bullied. Yeah, he bullied Barca
He bullied
completely.
Barca.
And Barca, you got Lewandowski, who's one of the most lethal finishers in the
Couldn't
world.
do a thing that game.
Couldn't do anything. He only scored a penalty, which was sketchy. It was a sketchy penalty. 'Cause
Yeah.
It tipped off De Gea a little bit there. But he locked down their whole attack, especially at the end there where they're throwing everybody
Oh,
at
yeah.
them and the kitchen sink. And Torres tried his best, but Lisandro Martinez an absolute defensive anchor, which they needed because Maguire,
He just isn't that. He just
shocker,
isn't that.
Maguire's not good. But, who else did you see from Man United that played great?
Man United, in particular, Anthony. Anthony came on as a super sub later in the game, and he did exactly what he needed to do. He got forward, he was progressing the ball, carrying the ball forward, and he scored. And it was a really nice goal, too.
Yeah.
It was a volley, I believe, just off of, Fred's shot, I think, from outside the box, and he just tucked it in the corner really well, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, and I think it was Anthony's birthday too that game.
Was it?
So so it's kind of nice seeing him. He's a huge transfer. He's a great young player, and I think low key he's gonna be a really good player in the future. I know he's been kind of not getting his flowers lately.
Because he's not been good lately,
Hey,
that's
I
why.
agree, but he's a young guy. I mean, who do you think they should put in better over him? Do you think Sancho's that guy that they bring on over him? Because I don't think Sancho's him. I don't think Sancho's him.
Wow, okay.
I don't think Sancho's
I think
him.
they're on the same level, I would say. I think
No.
they're fighting for the same spot, and I think they should be because they're exactly the same level. They provide different things, whereas Sancho's a great passer of the ball, whereas Anthony's a great ball carrier. So it doesn't add up.
I think
to
that
be
Casemiro signing was big too for them.
oh my God,
that was
absolutely.
huge.
Casemiro does everything
Huge.
that team needs him to do.
Yeah, now, hey, talking about Premier League, Man United's on the rise. Chelsea, yeah, they suck. They still suck. Even with these new signings, which I love João Felix. I was telling Ezra before, and Kelly, that's one of my favorite players, but you can't do much when the rest of the team around you is absolutely dreadful.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else they have to really do. They just have to gel.
Yeah,
And
they need time. That's it.
They suck. They lose, and they
But-
lost in the first leg.
To Dortmund.
Yeah,
of all
Dortmund's a
teams.
good little team, but when you have that much
not
signing-
compared to Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Do you think you guys are saying they need to get better and they need to do better? And obviously this year's it's a little too late for that.
Oh yeah.
But do you think since they spent so much money on such, I don't want to say mid players because they're talented, but kind of like reaching the edge of their age, like of being one of the top dogs in soccer,
yeah.
they're kind of aging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to affect them in the future because they wasted so much money on these kind of older guys who aren't performing as well as they thought they would?
Yeah, they got a couple older guys like Kalidou Koulibaly. I'm not the biggest fan of him, but they did get some youngsters as well.
Yeah.
Mudryk, Badiashile, watch for him. He's a young star.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of those older guys they signed, not looking too great. So I think they're really counting on the youngsters, and the youngsters need a lot more time to play.
They
in the
need a
league.
striker ultimately. Kai
Yeah.
Havertz, drop him back.
I would love if they made João Felix permanent.
Yeah,
He's
100%.
quite
He's
literally
gotta
the
be
best player on the field every time he plays for them.
Oh, 100%. And speaking a little bit on, English football kind of sucking, I'm going to say this. No Premier League team, no English football team won. They either drew or lost. And that
Champions
includes
League,
Man
yeah.
City, which
Don't say that.
I
Don't
got to
say
say,
that.
they're one of
Don't
the
say
best
that.
teams in the world. They drew
We drew to RB Leipzig, yes.
to RB Leipzig, which is crazy. And then Tottenham,
one-
of course, lost. I mean, no
Shocker.
One, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look how shocked I am.
You don't need a prophecy to see that they're going to lose that game. They're going to probably lose that whole
Yeah.
that whole leg. They're
To
going
a
to lose the second
very
one.
mid AC Milan. team.
So since they lost like in this first kind of run of the knockouts, how do you guys think they're going to do in this next round of games they're playing next week or 2 weeks from now?
The second leg, they're going to either be down. They're going to have to just mount a comeback, except for City. City's going to have
City's
to.
gonna win that easily.
And there's no shot that Liverpool even wins. No shot Liverpool.
I wouldn't write them
comes
off
back.
just yet. I wouldn't
I
write them
get
off.
they've had that crazy comeback where they beat Barcelona and they came back and it was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like this just happened. And
Right.
you got Wijnaldum that scored. I think did he score two or was that?
No, it was two, yeah.
Origi.
No,
Origi or Wijnaldum. They both scored
Origi's goal was the one that put them ahead. Wijnaldum scored two before that.
Gotcha. And so I don't think that's going to happen. Liverpool's been stereotypically terrible.
Right.
How have they been playing this? They've been horrible lately.
They have not been good. I mean, just the last few. I mean, was it last year that they finished second in the league, and now what happened? What happened between now and then to where they've just fallen off like this? I think they're in 7th place right now in the league, which is not great.
Yeah,
I'll tell
I
you
mean,
exactly what
yeah.
happened. Sadio Mane. When you
I agree.
lose your best player, yes, I said it. Best. He's better than Salah because Salah is there for goal scoring, whereas Mane does everything else.
I agree,
When you lose
100%.
your best player, wow, shocker, you're going to be pretty bad. So when you try to replace him with a guy like Darwin Núñez, who doesn't play that position, and still needs time to gel, and then Cody Gakpo, who you won't even use in that position, it doesn't make sense. So
I think
that's
the
what
big
happens.
thing is also you're pairing Virgil van Dijk, arguably the best center back in the world,
With two terrible center
with
backs right
Joe Gomez.
now. Awful.
Joe
Who is
Gomez.
Awful.
He was. I honestly thought Joe Gomez was 75 years old the way he was moving. He could not mark anybody on Real Madrid.
Not a
Vinicius dribbled around him about 3 times,
Had a
made him
field
do
day.
a split, and he looked like he was at a jungle gym. There was absolutely no defensive wherewithal. Their crossing, everything was horrible.
So who would you put instead?
They need a center. They have enough
They
money.
need-
They need a center back.
they need
have
to
to go
back-
find some.
They need to back Jurgen Klopp and go get a center back.
Yeah, I think Jurgen Klopp's he's a good manager.
Great
They need more players on there. But that's been all for Champions League. Kelly, your first time on. How'd you enjoy it a little bit?
I mean, yeah. Hey, I'm learning soccer. I'm trying to get my best. So it's really entertaining. There's a lot of cool stuff. It's a lot of different leagues. It's really interesting. So I'm excited to get into it, especially because they're in the Champions League tournament right now, and I love a good tournament.
Yeah.
So
And now
always
over
something on
and
the line.
Ezra, the resident main show host, He'll be on again. Don't worry.
I'll be back.
They'll both be back. He'll always be on for soccer. I love this man as a guest, and Kelly will be on too. So stick around because the third segment, I'm going to be talking Tommy Fury and Jake Paul fight, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. So stick around. Hitting Field will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Hitting the Field. I'm your host, Dominic Moller, and for segment 3, I'm talking boxing. I'm bringing it up, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. I think that's one of the biggest, fights that happened lately. They're a huge fight, and yes, I'm going to say it, Jake Paul looked like a real boxer there. He looked like he knew what he was doing there, and Tommy Fury just proved himself to be even better. I think Jake Paul bounces back, and they keep fighting through. Now, Tommy Fury showed himself why he is this great boxer, great lineage, great family, and everything. But this fight was electric. This was an exciting fight that I think people were not giving the credit to. First off, the referee, what are you doing the whole time? Yes, there's going to be holds. There's going to be grappling in boxing. But to stop the fight, deduct points, come on. These guys aren't at that high of a level that you could be deducting points like that. I thought the first point deduction to Jake was kind of like, I was like, what? Come on, get going here. And then they deducted Tommy points, so it kind of evened out. Crazy fight, really good fight. Great for the viewers, great for the whole fans of boxing and everything, but that's just a little bit of that. Now, I want to, we made a bet a little bit on the Super Bowl show, and I have a special guest coming on real quick, and he's going to talk about something, Weluka Costa, what are you going to talk about? What's up, man? What do you got to talk about? What happened? So what's going on? What do you got to talk about a little bit here? Take the floor. All yours.
Yeah, so, I did a thing. I put some faith in my Eagles, We lost by 3, granted, but, it's fine. A loss is a loss. And, I'm not a sore loser, and I'm come back on my promises, so I'm going to go on about the Chicago Bears. Yes.
Oh, man, the Chicago Bears. Why would you do that, Weluka?
I mean, they're just the best team in the NFL right now, and it's not even debatable. I seriously don't even understand. It's actually a handicap to other teams that they have the number 1 pick. Like, that's actually crazy.
100%, yes.
No, seriously. And, Justin Fields, are you kidding me? Lamar Jackson who? Who needs Lamar Jackson?
So you would put Justin Fields over Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'd put him over just about any quarterback, including Jalen Hurts.
And what about over Jalen Hurts? You're own quarterback for the Eagles. What would you say about Chase Claypool? This is better. Is he better than A.J. Brown?
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
I think he is, right?
Yeah, seriously, man. I really wish, as an Eagles fan, watching A.J. Brown play week in and week out actually really hurts me. And I just get so envious when I see Chase Claypool and his route running ability. He's just so elite. He's got the hands, he's got the knowledge, he's got a great frame on him. And I just feel like he makes any team that much. He elevates any team to a contender, especially the Chicago Bears.
I mean, you guys are hearing it first. Weluka Costa, Bears fan, and he's giving some crazy hot takes. Jack, I think people discredit you for your takes because Weluka Costa's coming out right now.
I just set the oven on fire.
Yeah, I think everybody's mind's a little blown, but thank you so much for coming on and giving that. I appreciate that.
It's been fun.
This has been Hitting the Field. Main show, and thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week. So see you next week, and take care.
Nice.
Things gon' change when I really hit the field. Undefeated champs, man, you know what's the deal. Tryna find a kid, I'm in the field doing drills. Boy, you just a sucker, you ain't never keep it real. 3 rings in my hand, I'm a warrior to the max. When I hang it up, they gon' have to